Happy Monday, everybody. I'm Louise from Wildflower Wool, and welcome to this week's knitting podcast. You guys, we had a great vote going on today over on Instagram, Facebook, and right here on YouTube. So we'll start off tonight's podcast. Like we always do, we'll talk about what you all were voting for. We'll talk about the yarns, my ideas for some projects for both of those yarns, and then we'll take a look at what I have been knitting on over the last week. My goal, as always, is to try to have it finished. Now, that doesn't happen all the time, but I actually do have a finish to share with you all. Um, and then we'll talk a little bit and see what you all have been working on. We can talk about the Fiber Friends knitting because it is sock knitting month over there, which is always, always fun. All right, so let's see. Oh, Liz is here. Hey, Liz. So I see a few people are just coming into the chat. So grab your knitting, get settled in for an hour's knit night tonight, and let's talk about what you were all voting on. So I took a look in my stash this morning, and I just kind of did a random, close my eyes, spin around, and pick a shelf. And I thought, okay, whatever's on here, I am going to pick two balls of yarn. And that was what we came up with. And interestingly enough, this purple Karen Cakes that has been kind of sitting around in different spots here that I stuck on a shelf. This ended up being one of the ones that was on the shelf. So I thought, you know what? I think that was a sign that it's been out for so long. I put it away and it was time to pull it back out and see if it gets cast on. So these were the two yarns. This is one that we've been seeing, and you guys know I've been knitting Karen Cake scarves for a while now. And this was another ball of yarn that I had in my stash, and honestly, I don't know why I bought it. I know it came from Michaels. It's a Loops and Threads, so we know it's a Michaels yarn. And so what is this? Lush Alpaca, 86 yards, 4 ounces, 79 meters, 113 grams. Now, I did take a little look on Ravelry. I was looking up some different projects that people had made with this yarn, and a couple people had said that this has been discontinued. So I didn't actually go check Michael's website, but it's entirely possible because yarns seem to come and go faster than I can knit them. I buy them, put them in my stash, and then when I get around to knitting with them, they're already discontinued. So, um, we'll see. It feels really, really nice. I don't know. It says Lush Alpaca, but that tends, to make you think that there's a lot of alpaca in here, and I'm sure that there's not because Michael's, all the yarn from Michael's is at a pretty good price point. So let's see what it actually says on here. It says that it is a super bulky. You can you can wash it. It says a 9 millimeter crochet hook or a 10 millimeter knitting needle. Um, Anything else on here? Where's the excuse me, sorry. Okay, just where I tried to pull the label off is right where it tells me what the content is, but it says 20% alpaca, so it has to be 80% acrylic. Sorry. Hold on for one sec. Okay. Hopefully that helps. So, anyways, oh, Sally, so you voted for the hat. So, this is what the yarn I pulled out, and I thought, oh, it does like Lush Alpaca, the 20%. Actually, that's not too bad for alpaca in here. I thought it does. It feels really soft and squishy, acrylic and alpaca, so there's no itch factor to this at all. I know some people are allergic to alpaca, but this feels really nice. And I thought, oh, this would be really pretty. And I just pictured it as being a hat. And, one skein of super bulky, you don't have too many options. I mean, it could have been a cowl, maybe it could have been a pair of mitts. My track record with mitts is not good, and it is springtime now, so I think mitts are on the back burner for a few months. Anyway, so I thought a hat would be a nice option. It just felt like it would be super cozy and warm. So that was one option. You could have voted for this game for a hat, or you guys, excuse me, hold on. Need another drink apparently. Or Karen cakes, because you can never go wrong with a lovely Karen cake ball. The colors are always so wonderful. And this is again, so the oh no, yes. So we're the same, basically the same kind of content. We're 80% acrylic. This is 20% wool versus the 20% acrylic. Um, if you've been watching for the last little while, you'll know that I have been knitting up scarves with my Karen cake balls. And I had done the mistake rib and I was working on a seed stitch scarf. So I thought this would be a kind of fun to cast on because I do like having a simple scarf project on the go that you can just pick up and you can knit whenever you want some simple, mindless knitting. And these purples with a little bit of gray, it looks really pretty, even though, I mean, really, neither of these colors are my color. I do like green, but typically not a mint green. What was this color anyways? Let's see. Um, Light green. Okay. Didn't get super creative on there, but it is a pretty mint green. And this one here is um lilac frosting. Okay. So they got creative with this one. Lilac frosting. Doesn't that just make you want to knit with that? Just sounds like a cupcake. Karen cakes. Perfect name. Okay, Kara. Kara says, I love Karen cake balls for crocheted baby blankets. Well, you know what? They're so fun for so many different projects because they have such a long color repeat. You can do so many fun things with them. So, hi everybody. Hope you're sitting in and getting all cozy and comfy and working on something. All right. So we didn't get as many people to vote, you guys, because I left for work early this morning and got crazy, crazy, crazy busy. And then all of a sudden, towards the middle of the day, I'm like, I didn't post for anything for you guys to vote on. Um, it was just one of those days. So I did get the posts up, but it was definitely later than it normally was. So that maybe we missed out on a few people voting. But this is what we had. So we were voting for a hat or we were voting for a scarf. And let me see here. Where's my paper with my notes? Um, here we are. Okay, we had just under 100 people voting, so a little bit less than we normally do. And the winning project this week had 62% of the votes. So pretty good. So, okay. I don't know. I always stop and think here, what is that dividing line where it's even or where what is definitely one-sided or not. Anyway, so 62% of the votes with for this week's project I'm casting on. Liz is giving us a drum roll here. So the one that I'm casting on is, insert your own drum roll, the hat. So there was lots of comments either way. You guys, I thought for a fleeting moment, I thought the scarf was going to make a comeback. Hi Sabrina. It looked like the hat was going to win pretty much all day, but when I started adding up the votes, um there was a group of you who were definitely voting for the scarf, and I thought, I'm like, I think the scarf might actually pull out a win here and be like really, really close voting. But in the end, nope, this one here, it is a hat, which I have to say, I think I was kind of pulling for the hat. Um, just because the hat is going to be a smaller project and I thought I could get it done quicker. Even though I do like the scarf because I like having an easy project that I can just pick up and work on. But I don't know. It is fun and funny because it is springtime. I'm not going to be wearing this hat anytime soon, but it could be a perfect gift project to go into my gift giving box because I don't think I will keep this for myself just because it's not my favorite color. This is the winner, Jocelyn. Did you vote for hat? Hi, Dawn. Dawn says yay for the hat. Liz, are you still on a winning streak? Hi, Mary. So, anyways, this is it. So now I have to find some needles, and I'm thinking that I'm going to turn this beautiful skein of yarn into a cabled hat. I'm thinking cables. I'm either thinking cables or just a ribbed hat. So it's like one or the other, something that is pretty simple, just rib, I don't know, 1 by 1, 2 by 2, and just do some simple shaping at the top and call it done, or do some cables. I'm kind of thinking cables. Oh, Christine says cable. Okay, Liz is still on a winning streak, and Jocelyn says, hell no, I'm not a hat person. Well, sorry, Jocelyn, but the hat was the winner this week. So I am a little sad that I'm not going to have this cast on, but who knows? Oh, I think it was Susanna. She's like, do both. And I thought, oh my goodness, Susanna, what are you talking about? I have a hard enough time getting one project done, let alone casting on two. But who knows? So this is going to go back up in my little stash of Karen cakes, and we'll pull it out again. Maybe this will be end of the summer. I don't know. End of the summer scarf. Get ready for winter. Who knows? Oh, Diane says 2 by 2. Oh, 2 by 2 cables. When I saw 2 by 2, my mind immediately went to ribbing, but 2 by 2 cables. Okay, so that's 2 votes for cables. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking cables. Kind of thinking cables on this one. I think. I think that's the way I'm going to go. What do you think? Anybody think ribbing would be good, or is everybody else thinking cables too? I know it's hard to comment when you're knitting because you can't do both at the same time, right? Okay, um let's talk about last week's project before we get into all the other things. And I don't have, well, no knitting really to show you. No knitting to show you. Okay, Liz says ribbing. Um the project from last week was the Sock Madness socks. The lace socks. Nuppy, Nuppy is the pattern name. And it was the one with the band across. Remember, it was a lace sock with like a little flower pattern, and then there was the band of the lace weight. So what I did, I don't have any knitting to show you because you guys, um, this is my story about this yarn. Okay, I'll show you the yarn first. I think I was telling you that I had this pink yarn in my stash. This yarn has been in my stash for I don't know how long. Like, um, a long, 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 long time. Long time. It is a silk and wool Jagger spun. 50% Chinese silk, 50% fine merino wool. 630 yards in this little itty bitty ball. And it's pink, and it is called Lady Slipper is the colorway. So there is the ball band. That look familiar to anybody? I yeah, I don't know. That's probably been in my stash, like over 10 plus 12 years. I think I originally bought this thinking I would knit my mom a shawl, like a really lacy shawl. I think was what I had this idea with because she likes pink. Anyways, when you guys picked this pattern last week and I needed lace weight yarn, this was the pink that I was thinking of. So it's maybe a little pinkier than it's showing there. But then I needed something else as the main color. And I was either thinking gray or I was thinking navy. So what I ended up doing was making a little trip to Knit Stitch. And I came back with this Socks Yeah by Coop Knits. And it's just a navy. Um, so this is a 50-gram ball. So I got two skeins, and this is going to be the socks. So my story with this pattern is I wound the first skein, hand wound it into a ball, and I cast on using 2 millimeter needles, because remember we'd been talking about sock needles and size, and we were having this conversation around using 2 millimeter needles, and I was always like, oh, I didn't want to go to anything down smaller than a 2.25. And I thought, okay, that's silly. It's just going down to a 2. It's not that big of a deal. Well, all I had for 2 millimeter needles were DPNs that were wood. I'm sure you can all guess what happened. um, Little itty bitty tiny sock needles in wood or bamboo. I don't know what kind of wood they were. Anyways, of course, I snapped one. I'd cast on and just started the first couple of rounds and snapped one. So I kiboshed that because I thought it was just going to keep happening because they were just so tight. And yeah, and I just thought, oh, this is not going to work. So I went and I was looking for anything. Suzanne at Knit Stitch didn't have a 2 millimeter in stock right now, so I wasn't able to pick up a needle there. So all I could find was a Prim needle. It was a 2 millimeter. The cable, though, you guys, I don't know. I've used Prim needles before, and they're okay. Typically, the needle point isn't super pointy, and I like a pointy needle. But I thought, it'll be okay. I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking that the join is gonna give me some trouble. So, anyways, I kind of pulled it all out, and I'm ready to restart with the needle and try and do magic loop, and we will see where we get. So this is just showing you this is what the colors are going to be. I think the colors are going to look really nice. I mean, navy with the light pink should look good. It should show off the lace really, really well. I think it should be good. Um, what is that? Oh, oh yes, Katie, it will be fun to see you start dating yarn bands when you acquire. You know what? I should do that because I had started to write on. Oh, you can't see it. I've got a corkboard right there. So I started putting ball bands on there when I finish the ball, and I wrote on there what I've made in the year. But you're right, I should actually write on it when I buy them, because then I'll accurately know how long they have sat in my stash for. Um, I need to clear some needles. I do, and I'm working on that with socks. So let me show you. I know I'm down to like the bottom of the barrel because, like, remember the sock? Remember this one, the Christmas one? And I keep thinking, I don't know where the ball band's gone for this. So, but I'm pretty sure this was the Cascade Heritage Prince yarn. And I don't know if it had a name, but I keep calling it Vintage Christmas because that's what it looks like to me. Um Anyways, it's really nice, but it feels a lot thicker than any of the other sock yarn that I've been knitting with. So these socks are really nice and snug. But remember this one that was all mismatched needles? So, yeah, this accurately represents what my needle selection is like right now. It is, yeah, find whatever you can use and see see how things turn out. Katie, you're an inspiration to me. My stash just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Okay. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, Katie, but it is always good to have a well stocked stash because you just never know when You just need a single ball or something that you've got in your stash. Oh, Kara, you knit with 2 Miller Chow. And say, but are they the metal, like they're nickel plated needles, aren't they? But are they the metal, or do you use the wood? They've got wood, don't they? Um, if you use a small size wood needle, use Brittany. Okay, Liz. So that's the one I should try. Yeah, and see, and that very well could have been whatever brand I had because I've got such a mixture. I have a little bit of everything, from cheaper ones to more expensive ones to anything that's in between. But have you thought about lifelines? Um, oh, for your hibernating projects to free up needles. No, actually, I hadn't. But maybe I should. I mean, that would be a more realistic approach because I just keep thinking that I'm going to um, finish up things. So that's why I don't, because I think every time if I take the needle out, then I can't finish it. Then it really will sit forever and ever and ever, which it sometimes they do even with the needles in. So, anyways, but this sock, you guys, I did a little bit on there. Can you see when I picked it up earlier in the week? I was down here. I had just picked up the gusset stitches. So I think I still have a couple more decreases to go. I probably have 2 or 3 more decrease rounds to go, but it is getting smaller down the side here. It's almost looking like the circumference of a sock. So I'm getting there. I'm almost like straight on the foot, pretty close. But let me tell you, I'm like this needle. If you are watching Saturday, I think I started knitting with this on Saturday and realized that this needle tip is broken. So it's very, very sharp and pointy because it's rough. So I have to like flip it around and just knit with this end because it's not broken. Anyways, yeah, this I think these needles are going to go in the garbage because I'm afraid like they could. Oh gosh. Okay, did you guys see that in the camera? Um, it just flew away quite literally. Okay, so now I'm going to have to find it. Oh my goodness. Okay. I may have to do that. I may have to find some more sock projects and see if I can find needles. Okay. Anyways, we'll deal with that problem later. Oh my gosh. Sandpaper, extra fine. I have done that, Susanna, on one of my Knit Picks needles. You know how they put the layers of the Knit Picks, all the different colors on there? Mine had got a catch in there and I sanded it. And then what did I put on top of it? Beeswax? Did I melt beeswax and rubbed on it? And it worked like a charm, actually. Okay, this sock got a little bit done. It's back in the rotation, so there's a chance of it getting finished at some point. Okay, the um Diane, I do need kerplunk sticks. You know what? That might actually work. I don't even know my kids ever had that game or not, but I know, isn't that so funny? So what Diane's talking to, if you didn't watch the Fiber Friends on Saturday, Marianne said when she first started to knit socks, she had her mom's knitting needles, and she just pulled out the knitting needles, I guess, out of, a bag, whatever they came in, and she had 4 knitting needles, and then there was a yellow knitting needle, and she knit a pair of socks with them, only to come to realize that the yellow knitting needle was in fact a kerplunk stick from one of the kids' games. So, anyways, that was like one of the funniest stories I've heard in a long time. But it proves that it works, right? Pick up sticks exactly with yes. Okay, you guys, this is my finish. This is my finish. So my Karen Cakes ball. You know how I was saying that I wanted to do one color a week. Well, I just sat and I worked through the ball over the weekend, and there was actually an extra color in here that I didn't even realize. So where was I? Okay, I think I was going this way. So this light, the blue. Now I can't even remember. Okay, I'm not sure. So we had this pretty light blue. And this might have been the one that I was working on for this week, was trying to get the blue done. So I did the blue, and then I thought, okay, there's green and a dark blue. So I just kept going. And so there was this dark green, and then there was a light green section that I didn't realize was in there. I just saw it was green, but the two greens in the ball, they look so similar. So, anyways, I just kept going and did the light green section, and then I ended up with blue and done. This was the last of the yarn. That's it. So I will weave in my tail, I'll snip it off, and then you can't see the jar, but I've got a jar here that I'm just putting in all of my ends. And I'm just going to keep them until the end of the year, see how many I have collected, and then we are going to card them and then make them into um like roving again and use it for stuffing for maybe like Christmas balls that I'm planning on knitting in December. So we'll see. But that's my plan. So won't waste anything. Same here. This was my cast on end, so I'll weave that in and then put the little bit in my jar. Let's see. Baby kitten, you got a knitting tattoo? Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. Oh, thanks, Diane. Cindy, you want a tattoo, but you're scared. I don't think I could sit for a tattoo. I don't think I could. I don't know. Maybe if it was something that I really, 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 really wanted and it was small, I could do it. I don't know if I could though. Okay, it wasn't so bad. She used a smaller needle and didn't have a heavy hand. Okay. See, and maybe that makes a difference too, right? The tattoo artist. Yeah, I don't know enough about them. So, well, that's kind of cool though. Oh, hey, Jocelyn, you like switched. Okay, Jocelyn, I love my tattoos. Oh, and you have plans for more? Fun, fun, fun. Okay, so, anyways, you guys, so look at this, all seed stitch. And the exciting part about this project is I did it all continental. And if you guys are not lovers of seed stitch, it's probably because half of it is purled, right? It is just knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. So this is where I think I was maybe last week when we were chatting. So I got a lot done. But this scarf is crazy long. So I want to pull out my mistake rib scarf that I did. And I think I must have, when I cleaned up this corner, I think that scarf got put away as well. So I'll have to find it, and at some point we'll compare them. But my mistake rib scarf. So it was a little on the narrow side, but it's okay because when you double wrap it, it fills in and it's okay. The seed stitch, I cast on more stitches, and I know seed stitch because it is like a knit one, it kind of has a stretch like a ribbing does to it, but it doesn't pull in. It's more open. So I knew it would be wider, which is what I wanted, and it was. But I had this worry that because I made it wider than the other one, maybe it wouldn't be as long. And would we be able to get enough? Sorry, I hope that wasn't too close to the speaker and noisy. I was trying to get my tape measure out. I wanted to see because I think this is no, actually, it's about 7 inches wide. Um, Anyways, I thought this might have turned out a little shorter because it was a little wider, right? I mean, that kind of makes sense. Well, no, this thing is long. It like goes on forever and ever. So I can wrap it, like really wrap it, and I still have, which way do I want to go? Like I still have an arm's length on either side. So it is just nice and cozy. So I like that you can wrap it and just make it extra cozy, and then you can still, you know, do whatever here and make it nice. I like that. So it has this feeling of thickness to it. Oh, Liz, you have a jar for your ends? I think it's 3 years old. I know. I wondered. I was like looking at jars, and at first I was looking at these like huge, huge jars, and I thought, okay, that maybe is a little extreme here. So, oh, Diane, thank you. Clapping for a finish. My seed stitch scarf. And I loved knitting this. I love doing seed stitch. Under the willow. Hello. I keep forgetting that I'm actually watching the live and can comment. Love the scarf. Thank you. Thanks, guys. It turned out great. You know what? I love it. I think the width is nice. The length is great. It's nice and long. You can wrap it. You can wear it multiple ways. Um, I know, Diane. I did it all in Continental. So I I feel like I'm a continental knitter now because I have projects that are done either way. This shawl, I'm also working on doing continental, and it's coming along good too. So this is the Cherry Pit colorway, and it's so fun. This color is just absolutely lovely. Is the scarf worsted or chunky? It is worsted. What is this? Yes. Yep. Karen cakes are number 4. So and I did it on a 5 millimeter needle. Yes, I did. 5 millimeter. So this here is all continental as well. So obviously just continental knits because it's garter stitch. And I found when I was picking up my other projects that I was knitting English style, I was automatically picking up the yarn in my left hand and had to switch to my right hand. So I don't know which way. I mean, continental definitely is less movement, but I enjoy knitting both ways. So I will probably always have a project going one way or the other, and just switch it up. Hello, Daisy. Hey, Kitty. So anyway, so this is it. So this is just a asymmetrical or a boomerang shawl that has a yarn over to make the increases. Really simple, really fun. It's like I like having a simple, easy project that you can just pick up and put down with no thinking. So this is coming along really nicely. My ball is starting to get smaller, but there's still lots in there. So I'm going to be working on this again for a little bit longer. But now that I don't have a scarf, now that this lovely one is finished, this will probably be my pickup and go to while, watching Netflix or whatever, whatever. Okay, so what else do I have to show you? Um, Yeah, what I really am trying to do is on my whiteboard. I'm really trying to work through some of the older projects like back in January and give them a check mark and be able to say I've got some finished. Now this one here was a February project. So it's it's April now. So February, it's a February project should be off the needles. So this one is done. It's nice and warm. This will be a good, I think this one will probably go in the gift box as well for somebody who likes something really long. I can almost see my nephew wearing this one. So let's see. I think that's where it'll go. Weave the ends in and then put it in the Christmas box. I have got, oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so this, take a note, everybody, a finish. And if you saw the reel I posted last night, you will know that I did finish a sock. So look at this. What, and this is my retreat sock, which was started the second week of January, which I'm thinking this whiteboard has been a great investment. So I know when I have cast things on, and maybe it's a good little motivator because every time I pick these up and I think, oh my goodness, I cast these on January 8th. It is now April 15th. These should have been done months ago, but they were not, but they will be finished very soon. So this was the Comfort sock yarn that I had gifted some friends for Christmas. So we would all have matching socks for our retreat weekend, which is coming up in about a month. So there is a deadline for sock number 2, but it's still a little ways away, but I need to get going on it. So I made sure that I cast this one on right away. And there it is. So a little bit done, a little bit. 2 by 2 ribbing. And I was hoping that I would have had a little more time. I had some knitting time planned out to work on this because I thought, again, ribbing, straight leg, vanilla sock, you know, I could do it when I was out and about, and that didn't quite happen. So, anyways, I'm still here, but it is started and it's on the needles because I don't know if you guys are like this or not, but if I don't immediately get it on the needles, it I will pick up something else and work on it, like my shawl, a scarf. But if it's already on the needles, I will pick it up and work on it. But just to take that little bit of extra time to cast it on when I just want to sit and knit on mindlessly a simple project, I don't take the time to cast on. So the fact that it's cast on is a very good sign for this getting finished somewhat soon. So we'll hope. So I worked on 2 pairs of socks this weekend. I really wanted this past weekend to be a sock knitting weekend, and it really was. I didn't get any work done on any of my sweaters. Even though I had one with me. I had the Anchor Summer shirt with me on the weekend, and I had wanted to get even just a few more rounds done on it, but I opted to do the sock instead. So, I'm looking forward to doing some sweater knitting, and I have plans. I have plans for another sweater start in a couple of weeks, so I'm excited about that too. Oh, Liz, your jar is an old florist jar. Interesting. Um, let's see. Jocelyn says, all you peeps in chat will be so proud of me. I'm using a New Start Monday as my ad project. I worked, oh, in my Ravelry time. Um, that's right. I'm making progress bags. Oh, progress pages. Bags. Where did that come from? Jocelyn, good for you. Ravelry pages. That's good. That's still on my list to do. But, you can only do so many things at a time. Good job for you. Yay for completed sock. I know, I'm so excited. Socks are great travel knitting. They are, aren't they? Which is perfect for summertime coming up, right? When everybody's on holidays and you're just going to have, yeah, going here and there, kids' baseball games, kids' soccer games, going to the pool, going to the beach, all the fun things. Oh, Diane's happy for you, Jocelyn. I know. Good job, Jocelyn. That makes me I'm super proud of you. Do I have anything else? I feel like there should have been one more project, but maybe not. That might have been everything that I worked on. I mean, the scarf actually took a big amount of time to do, because we know, right? Scarves are long. Scarves are long, and the fact that I was doing it seed stitch is not the fastest stitch, at least for me to knit. It was slow and steady for sure, but it wasn't super fast. but I just kept plugging along because I wanted to get it done. So maybe we'll wait. So maybe it's just as well that this is taking a little bit of a break because that did seem to be like a big project this weekend when I was really pushing to try and get it finished and was just picking up and working on it every chance I got. So maybe it's just as well we're not casting on another big scarf quite yet. Give me a couple of weeks break and do a simple quick hat and then I'm gonna but I do like the feeling of getting some of my stash yarn knit because this Karen Cakes ball, this was stash yarn. This had been, I don't know when that was. I really should write the dates on when I buy things, shouldn't I? Because I went on a little bit of a kick on buying Karen Cake balls because they're so pretty. There were like so many fun different colors. They're hard to resist. So this has been in my stash for a little bit. So this is one ball out of my stash, which has a good feeling. And this one here will be another one that I can get knit up this week, hope or two. I mean, it's a hat. It's a chunky hat. This should knit up in 2 or 3 evenings, depending on how much time you have to knit. But oh, Susanna says their dates on the labels. Oh, so like, but yes, okay. But sometimes they can sit in the store too for a while, right? So you're saying like that would be a good way for me to know when I bought it? Okay, I don't like that idea, Susanna, because this one is saying 2016. Can you guys read that? Okay, where's the right there? Does that say July 2016? Have I had it that long? Don't answer that because maybe I didn't think it would have been that long. I mean, that's what 8 years? Um, 8 years. I don't know. Anyways, maybe not quite. Maybe it sat in store for a couple of years. I don't know. It's possible I've had it for that long. Time flies, right? Time it goes by so quick. So anyways, I guess this just needs to be knit, right? It's time. But sadly, you guys didn't pick it, so it's going back on the shelf. That is the earliest I could have bought it. You're right. You're right. Okay, now I'm curious because, I have another one. I think this is going to be Cherry Chip because that is such a fun name. Cherry Chip. And somehow, for a person who does not like red, I have another one up there. And I don't know, there's another red one up there. I don't know if that's another cherry chip. And I know I've knit at least one, if not two balls of this already. I maybe had enough for a blanket and didn't even know it. Okay, what's the date on this going to be? Oh, this makes me a little happier. 2018. 2018. So who knows? So I guess, where is it? Oop, there it is. 2018. So I guess I have had the Karen cakes for a while now, haven't I? Now I'm so tempted to go look at the other ones, but they're probably all the same. So I guess I have had them a little bit longer than I thought. Thanks, Susanna, for that tip. How did you know the date was on there? Did you just randomly come across that? It's kind of cool. Yeah, so maybe I've had them a little longer than I thought. Okay. Guess it does mean I need to knit them. I need to get them out into the world as a fabulous scarf. Maybe I should think of my Karen cakes as something other than scarves. Maybe I should knit hats with them. I don't know. Um yeah, that's fun. That is fun. Okay. So, my shawl. Yes, I've got a lot. I feel like this is going to be the week of the sweater because I didn't knit anything. I mean, I tried to get my new socks started, which kind of failed miserably, but I'm hoping now that I've got another needle, um, I'm gonna give it another go. But now I've got a hat, a chunky weight hat which should knit up quick, but I want to pick one of the sweaters. So I've got the Croy, um, oh, what is the name? Cameo Colors? Something like that. Cameo Colors. The Patton's Croy is gonna be just a simple pullover sleeveless summer top. Really just a gauge to garment kind of thing. So I need to get some more done on that. I have got my Salty Air Tea that is being knit in the blue, um, coast. I almost said tides for a second. I don't know why, but it's the blue coast. I think is it cobalt. It's a nice, pretty blue color. And then I have the black hemp for the Anchor Summer shirt in the black hempton, the hemp and the cotton. So I've got those three sweaters to pick from. And I would like to magically have one finished. That is probably not going to happen at all, but I would like to have some good progress on a sweater and do some socks and whip out a hat. So I'm gonna have to like manifest a whole lot of knitting time out of like thin air. I'll have to see what I can do on that, but I'm feeling like this is going to be a good week. It's going to be a good knitting week. I'm going to have lots of free time in the evening, and things are going to go well. Like no more broken needles, no more lost needles, and yeah, hopefully I get some more progress because I'd like to get some more finishes checked off on the board. So we'll see how that goes. I've kind of given up the whole idea of keeping my cast-ons to finishes at like at least a 50-50. I'm going to hope by the end of the year. I'm going to count at the end of the year. I'm not going to worry so much week by week because that's not very realistic because especially when I want to try and do 12 sweaters this year. That takes obviously longer to knit. So, Katie, you do sweaters in 2 weeks. You got this. You're right. I am a knitter who can knit a sweater in 2 weeks. You are right. So why can't I do that this week? Huh. Maybe I can. And that 2 week sweater had sleeves. And these summer ones either just have little short sleeves or no sleeves. So you're right. You are absolutely right. That Jocelyn's saying the sweaters will fly by. They go so fast. That's right. I think it's just, see, it's that mental block. I'm like just thinking, ooh, it's a sweater. It's big. It's a lot of knitting. You won't get it done. But you're right. I need to think. It's going to go so fast. There's no sleeves. There's no sleeves. That was my that was my issue with the other sweater I was trying to finish was my sleeves ended up taking forever. So you're right. I could try and do this. That's right. Jocelyn and I are going to be chatting. That's right. We didn't chat this past Friday, but we're chatting this coming Friday night. So we'll have another like hour and a half long time that we can just sit and we can work on something. And exactly. So that would be good sweater knitting time for me. Just get myself to a point where there's no increases, yeah, no pattern, just hopefully just get like in the body and just be able to go round and round and round. Okay. Okay. I'm thinking there's hope now. All right, so but the most the like what's the first order of business? That's what I want to say is finding a needle for this yarn. I'm thinking an 8 millimeter needle. Thinking an 8 millimeter is what I'm going to try. What did it say on here? It said, oh my gosh, it said a 10 millimeter. Okay, I knit loose, so I'm going to go, so like either an 8 or a 9 is what I'm going to try and work on. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the end of the outside of the ball. Let's see if I can find the center without pulling out half the ball of yarn. Sometimes Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to do the little trick that a knitting friend showed me. So put your fingers in the end of the ball and then you twirl your fingers around. Okay. And see what pull out of the center here. Oh, I don't think this is going to work. I feel like I've got, hmm, okay. Well, there goes that ball band. Um, I don't know. Maybe we'll pull out. Ooh, this is not. I have a feeling this is going. I'm going to pull all this out and I'm going to end up in a tangled mess, especially now that the ball band has come off. All right. Well, I guess we'll just do it and we'll see what we end up with. If it's if it ends up all tangled, then I guess that becomes the first order of business. Oh, actually, that's not too bad. And I thought I was gonna pull this all out and have to untangle so much, but there's the end right there. Okay, not too bad. Oh, okay, baby kitten, that method works 50-50 for me. And usually I'm more like 95 to 5%. Most of the time it works. Most of the time it does. And this actually wasn't too bad and it didn't tangle. So I will take that. So now I am going to do, what am I going to do? I'm thinking maybe like a tubular cast on. I want a really nice edge and I want something that's stretchy for the hat. And then I will do like a knit, I think a knit one, purl one ribbing. And oh, now we've got fluff. Ah, alpaca fluff. Does anybody have troubles with that when you're knitting with like either alpaca or cashmere or something that's got like little short fibers and you like inhale it and you're just like, you've got it. Got it stuck everywhere. And anyway, hopefully that won't be an issue. You always wonder why they discontinue yarns like fairly quickly, like why something doesn't become a staple. And I'm imagining it's because it didn't sell for starters, but you wonder, right? And why didn't it sell? Was there an issue with it? Does it split or I don't know. Anyways, we'll see. It feels really soft. Like I think it would make a gorgeous cowl or it'd be a really nice hat. So this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna have to find a cable needle and I'm gonna have to find I would really like to have a 16-inch needle to do this hat on. So I'm thinking tubular, cast on, knit one, purl one, ribbing on a smaller needle. So maybe like a 6 millimeter or 7 millimeter, and then go to an 8 millimeter and work the body. And I'm thinking I'm going to do some cables around it, just some simple cables. Who was it? Was it Diane? Somebody had mentioned do a 2x2 cable. Yeah, that I think that would be fun. That's the plan. Just got to find the needles first. But chunky needles are the odds of finding that in my needle stash are better. It's the smaller ones. It's the fours, the 4.5 sock needles. Those are the ones that are almost non-existent. But I'm thinking that something like this I will find and be able to get this cast on right away. Okay, you guys, we're almost at the top of the hour. So what else? Is anybody else close to a finish? Anybody else working on updating the Ravelry pages like Jocelyn is? Anybody else casting on something new? There was a few comments, I think way back at the beginning, some people were talking about what they were working on. Let me see if I can find. Liz, do you have any idea how many weeks in a row you voted and been on the winning side? I feel like if we talk about it too much next week, we're gonna jinx it. Oh, okay. Okay, Cindy's back at the tattoo. I just looked up Cindy's from the tattoo. She said, I just want letters. Can't say what, but it has to do with cancer. I'm guessing I know what you are talking about. Okay, so Liz, your jar, how full is your ends? Like, do you have a lot of ends in there, or is it like taking forever? Or are you just having to keep like pushing it down and cramming more in there? Oh, Kara, you're starting baby socks right now. Oh my gosh. That is a fun, quick project. You know what? Kara, you just gave me a wonderful, wonderful idea. I should start some more baby knits. I should start Scarlett another little sweater. I've got like one or two on the go for her. I should finish that. I should finish those. Um, good job I started them in a large size. But, is it too early to start thinking about baby number 2 and have some things, like, tucked away for the baby, like little baby socks and, knit them their own hat so they don't have to wear Scarlett's hand-me-down? Mm, I like that idea, and somebody said oh, who was it I saw? Karen Cakes? Somebody else said did they say sweater? Oh, Karen Cakes. Oh, Bernadette. Karen Cakes makes a fun, colorful sweater. It would, right, with those stripes? Yes, most definitely it would. Oh, Bernadette, you've cast on the Birkin with short sleeves. Nice. What color yarn? Um, oh, baby kitten, you started started a crochet this weekend. Oh, a Carsey blanket. Nice. Working on an old shawl whip. See, yeah, that's good. I'm wondering if Diane. Oh, okay. So see, I was thinking just like a basic cable, like 2 like cable 2 front, cable 2 back. Like, but no, she is saying 2 by 2 cables with 2 cable needles. Oh, yes, I could be tucked into that. I could be tucked into that. Oh, Carrie, your cousin is expecting twins. Oh, how wonderful. Are you close by? Oh my gosh. See, I think it would be fantastic if not me had twins. If somebody else had twins, because then they would be looking for help every day. And you could just go over and you could have baby snuggles and you could feed a baby. You could always be holding a baby. Yeah, that's a lot of work though for the new parents, but twice the fun, right? Oh, Liz, it's almost full your jar. You haven't pushed it down. Okay, so yeah, so it's probably like you could probably get so much more. What are you going to do with all your ends? That's the other question. What are you saving them for? Oh, Crossover Paranormal Society. Hello, welcome, welcome. What are you knitting? Um, Oh, Katie says never too early. I know, right? I'm thinking maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do some little baby socks. That would be fun. Um, and you know what? I didn't knit any baby blankets for Scarlett because her other grandma had somebody knit 2 or 3 blankets. So Anita had lots of brand new blankets for Scarlett, and she was like, "Mom, please don't make me another blanket." So I didn't make her a blanket. But second babies don't typically get all of the things that first babies do, right? So maybe I should be working on a blanket for the second baby. Actually, I think I bought yarn. Oh, did I? Blues. I bought something in blues, like blues and greens, when Scarlett was just like only a couple of months old. Because I remember laughing and thinking, okay, this is maybe a little too soon to start thinking about, maybe baby number 2 would either be a boy or just do some different colors that Scarlett didn't have for another little girl. I wonder where I stuck that yarn. Huh, that might be fun. Oh, oh, Kara, you have twins that are 21. Oh my goodness. See, well, my kids are pretty close together, but not quite twins. But oh my goodness, that must have been a lot of work. A lot of fun, but a lot of work. Oh, Liz, you're going to use all your ends for stuffing. Wonderful. Oh, Kara, you'll post a picture of the blanket. I just finished in the Ravelry group. That would be perfect. Um, oh, so Under the Willow and Kara, are you both you're on the Pacific Coast, you're in Oregon. So are you guys anywhere as close to each other? Oh, oh, Kara, I see that. Unfortunately, no. I'm on the Pacific Coast and she is in New York City. That is gonna make it hard for like weekly snuggles, isn't it? But but maybe you've had your fill. You've had 21 years of raising twins, so maybe you don't need any extra time. Um, oh, you're in Washington and Oregon. Lovely, lovely. Well, okay, Daisy has come up here to remind me that she needs her supper. She is a starving kitty. Yes, she's so funny. Okay, well, you guys, thank you so much for voting. I'm super excited about this. I am. I'm gonna go look for needles for this. I'm gonna have a couple hours of knitting. I'm gonna go give Daisy her supper and then I'm gonna try and see if I can knit for a couple of hours here before heading off to bed and starting another work day tomorrow. But um I guess that's it. Until next week, everybody. Have a great knitting week. Get lots of knitting or crocheting done. Cast on something new and maybe try and work on something that's getting close to a finish. That is always exciting. I don't know. Work through your stash, go yarn shopping. I guess the what I'm trying to say is just work on and do whatever makes you happy, right? Have a great week, everybody. Thanks so much for everybody who voted, who's chatted in the comments, and those of you who are just sitting back and knitting and watching at home. I'm glad that we can keep you company while you're working on your project. I know, feed me. That's exactly these eyes are staring at me. It's like sending me messages. And that's exactly what I'm sure she's saying. Feed me. All right, everybody, have a fantastic week. Next Monday, we'll be back here again with something to vote on and progress on a hat, I'm hoping. And then, of course, Friday night, Jocelyn and I will be here. It's not looking like there'll be a podcast Saturday for the Fiber Friends because Cheryl is off to Stitch North with Caroline. So, think the Fiber Friends will be taking a week off. But then we'll catch up with you all the following Saturday to talk more about sock knitting over there. So everybody have a great knitting week, and we will chat with you Friday night. Bye, everybody.